Let me tell you a story. I'm 13 years old in my bedroom on my computer, and I'm just about to hop on Skype to play Minecraft with my online friends. And as I'm joining the call, I do my same ritual as always to activate the deep voice. I clear my throat, I visualize what I need to visualize, I think about the technique that I'm going to use, and as soon as I'm in the call, I speak with this deeper, commanding voice that put me in this position of authority compared to the guys that I was playing with. I was always treated as the leader of these little games that we would play. We'd go onto Minecraft on this server, and it was like I was always the one who was able to lead whatever we would do, that the other guys on Skype would always listen to me. And I'm thinking, about all that. I'm thinking about how different this is to my experience in school. Because in school, I'm more of a chump. I'm actually quite low status in school. But in the virtual world, especially through this like voice communication, I was able to command a lot more respect. And it was because I used certain techniques to deepen my voice and make it sound more masculine. A deeper voice makes people treat you more seriously with more respect, and it makes women more attracted to you. So there's a couple of techniques that I remember that I used to use back in those Minecraft days that I want to pass on to you right now, which is interesting because just earlier today, just as I got here, we were setting up all this studio, and he asked me to speak into the mic. I said, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. The first thing he says is, "Wow, you have such a manly voice, Sparta." And I practiced for this, so I don't think that this is like genetic. I wasn't born with a deep voice. There's a few techniques that I've used to deepen my voice, and the first one is what I call down talking. So naturally, when we end a sentence, most people aren't very aware of this, but if you just speak out loud right now, imagine you were asking a question to someone and you say it out loud, your voice will probably end in a higher pitch, which usually symbolizes like a little bit of submission and weakness. "Oh, can you pass me that pen over there?" You soften your voice because you're almost afraid to show that you actually have more power, because you don't want the conflict that can arise when you show that, yep, I am actually this guy. The opposite of this is what we call down talking, which is where the sentence ends with a deeper pitch than where it starts. "What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?" The last word is deeper. This is just a little cue for you to keep in mind. Every sentence that you say, make the last word deeper. Notice how much you have respect for me as I end these words with a deeper word than when I end my words with a really high pitch like I am doing now. By the way, bro, you're consuming all of these educational videos, which is awesome. But let's be more serious. There is a war on masculinity, and for us to win this war, we need you to join our gang. I'm welcoming you to the Adonis Gang. Come join your brotherhood by clicking the top link in the description right now and watching that welcome video after you finish watching this one. I learned this tip from my friend in university called Levi. And to remind each other that we would do this, that, we should use this technique of down talking on the women that we'd be speaking to in clubs, we'd look at each other and give each other a little like secret message, which we'd literally just look at each other and just go, and the moment that one of us would do that to each other, the other guy, who, whilst we're speaking to like a girl inside of the club, suddenly it's like our voice would just become deeper. So I'm hearing my friend Levi, like, he's like speaking to the girl and, "Oh yeah, so what course are you studying?" Whatever. And I'd hear him speak with his higher pitched voice, and I'd look to him and go, and suddenly he's like, "Yeah, so what course are you studying?" I used to find it so funny because when everyone's drunk, no one really is so aware that you've just suddenly changed your voice mid-sentence, mid-conversation. If you do that in the normal world, in school or the workplace, you're gonna sound weird. So you can't just suddenly turn on the deeper voice in the middle of the conversation. But if you start the conversation with the deeper voice, that person just kind of expects that this is actually your real voice. So when you meet someone new, always try and keep in mind down talking, especially with women. It's very attractive. Last word of the sentence, make it deeper like this. The second point is to breathe fully. I'm saying this in most of the videos I record because of just how powerful it is. Most of us only breathe to our chest. especially as I record these videos and I'm speaking quite quickly to convey the message to you in a way that, appeals to everyone's attention spans. It's very easy when you're mid conversation, or maybe as you watch this content, to only breathe up to like the chest whilst you're AFK. You're not very present, you're not really in your body. But if you take a full deep breath right now, and you unlock your stomach, and your stomach bulges and moves as you breathe, you'll naturally have a deeper, more commanding, more resonant voice. When I'm speaking really fast and I'm out of breath and I'm not really breathing properly, and maybe I'm breathing out of my mouth like this, then what will happen is I'm speaking this very like fast, agitated, dry way. When you slow down and you take a deep breath in with each sentence, you sound so much more commanding. This is very awkward for many young men who don't really have great social skills. I speak to many guys who speak so quickly because they're afraid of a little bit of silence happening inside of the conversation. But if you speak as I am right now, especially in intimate conversations with women or in deep conversations with your brothers, people will take you seriously. Most people will not interrupt if you speak in this tone at this speed right now, only if they sense that you are weak. If they sense that you're not breathing right, if they sense that you're not very confident, you've got poor body language. If you have those signs, then someone else will jump in the conversation and interrupt you if you try and speak slower. But if you have built yourself up to be a man of a good level, especially with your body language, you open up your body, you breathe into your stomach, you can actually take full deep breaths mid-sentence, mid-conversation, and no one will interrupt. You seem a lot more powerful when you talk like I am right now than if you talk and you just take those fast little sips of air. Like, notice as I talk these words, you'll notice that I'll take a breath through it. See that? Like an anxious little mouth breath. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is say a sentence with one breath and then breathe through the nose when you need to. When you speak so fast, it just goes out of your mouth, and mouth breathing is very unhealthy as well. It's very bad for like your jawline and everything. Nasal breathing is way better for you. But the biggest technique that helped me the most is very surprising. Just practice. Just practice speaking in the deeper voice. Practice, for example, making your voice 10 to 20% deeper than it usually is. So you don't want to be goofy. 10, 20% more. So if this is my normal voice right now, this is me not trying anything. This is me speaking quite quickly. This is my normal voice. I'll make it slightly deeper like it is now. 10 to 20% deeper, 10 to 20% slower. And remember the downturn. If you practice that just whilst you go onto calls with people, just while you speak to new people who haven't met you yet, it will make it more of a habit for you. And it's almost like a technique where right now it seems really awkward. But I specifically remember when I was 13, 14 years old playing Minecraft, that when I would practice my deep voice, I would call it activating my deep voice. It made my normal unconscious voice deeper as well. So when you're basically faking the deep voice, to a lot of people, to new people, they don't know that you're faking it. But it actually makes your normal voice deeper because you kind of like strengthen or fatigue or whatever it is, all the vocal muscles in your throat. So practice deep talking with me right now. If you just say, my name is Hamza. Say it first of all a few times with your just normal way of speaking. So here's my normal way of speaking. I'm quite fast. My name is Hamza. My name is Hamza. My name is Hamza. My name is Hamza. Change nothing, but just make it 10 to 20% slower. My name is Hamza. My name is Hamza. My name is Hamza. Straight away, you can imagine if I was saying that to a woman from my name is Hamza, my name is Hamza, you can already tell that this would be a lot more attractive, and I've not made it deeper. Now, make it slower and also just force some of the deepness to it. My name is Hamza. Speak from the throat, from the stomach, and not just from the lips. Now, why don't you maybe just pause the video, say multiple sentences, say whatever you want, and just be very conscious that mid-sentence, you don't take a sip of air from your mouth, you take the breath from your nose. So I'll keep talking random words to you right now. I'll put my finger up to indicate when I'm breathing, and I'm going to purposely breathe from my nose, as I am right now. I'm breathing from my nose because that's where our strength comes from. It's okay sometimes to be mid-conversation and not be quick as you speak. Many of us have grown in a little bit of a toxic household where our parents or siblings have always jumped in for their turn to speak. And so we've been conditioned to think that we need to speak very quickly. I breathed from my mouth there. That was an accident there. But if you consciously breathe from your nose as you speak, you seem so much more powerful. You can slow your sentences down to such a very, very slow pace. And people will actually take you more seriously if you do this. Now, the final thing for you to practice is that down talking. I find this one the hardest because I often forget about it. End the sentence with that down, deep voice. So instead of ending the sentence like this, where the pitch goes higher, you end the sentence like this, where the last word is deeper than the sentence. Where the last word is deeper than the sentence. This makes you sound like a movie star. And if you stare directly into the eyes of the person that you're talking to as you speak like this, they will listen. Now, you don't have to be this serious. So you can be goofy, you can be, laughing and playing online and stuff. You don't have to be sat here like speaking in this like cinematic way that I am right now. You can emphasize, you can move. You don't have to actually be like slow. You can even still have a decent amount of speed. You can talk about normal everyday things. Have you done the homework today? Oh no, I've not done the homework. For question 6 on the homework, I was just wondering yesterday, is it this or is it that? Having a deep voice has helped me in many areas, and it's a nice tool to have in the modern day where a lot of our communication now is online through these microphones, through videos and Zoom, and especially through our internet communication. If you're the guy who shows up with a little bit more of a deep, commanding voice, you will get more of an influence on the people that you are mixing with. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.